to be a member from 6-0. Now, like I said, there's hours of wiretaps of communications between all the defendants in this case. And since the inception of this investigation, more than 50 people have been physically interviewed by the folks and agreed to voluntarily provide information in regards to different situations surrounding Big U. So this takes us forward a little bit to 2022, where the FBI interviewed a cooperating witness labeled a CW1. He's the one who provided all the information about this whole check-in process and made them privy to how Big U is shaking people down when they come to town. This confidential witness also broke down how Big U Enterprises was the money-making gang inside of the Rolling 60s. Now, just to give some brief details on who this confidential witness is, this individual has convictions for possession for sales of narcotics in 2003 and in 2009, as well as shooting into an inhabited dwelling in 2003. This person received cooperation credit from the Central District of California at sentencing in a prior drug conspiracy case, and Joe Biden commuted his sentence.
Hey man, shout out Rap News Street Politics. I'm glad you covered this shit. He said they got 50 people that voluntarily gave up information against Big U. You know what I'm saying?
For that offense. So if this sound like your people, they some bad people. He stated that these rap artists, athletes, not only had to check in verbally, but they also had to pay a fee, which takes us to Adrian Broner. So CW1 recounted an event that happened with Adrian Broner in June 2019, where it said that AB and a couple NBA players had a little dice game jumping off, in which AB had pulled out some trick dice and whooped all them NBA players' feet in the dice, totaling a debt of $1.5 million. After this dice game, it said that Big U sent his homies to rough AB up. It said that AB didn't check in properly, and now he trying to whoop people for millions in the city. Big U wasn't going for that. So it said his involvement was really at the root of the whole situation.
Man, check in properly. Speaking of check in, you know he had that show, Check In, and he really was making people check in. The federales like, oh, hell no.
Due to him being involved in the parties, the gambling parties, dice games, little celebrity parties. He was in the mix everywhere. And it was said that he forced AB to forgive the debt that was owed to him from these NBA players. But it didn't stop there. He was paid $100,000 by these NBA players for negotiating the debt with Adrian Broner. And it was said that these NBA players or celebrities, whoever, would kind of have to get an approval from Big U to operate safely at these events and functions moving forward. Now, there was also another event in which Loose Cannon spoke on, and we gonna get to his old telling ass, but he stated that Big U has sent him on a mission to demand 50 racks from a celebrity rapper with the initials RR. Now, that could be Roddy Ricch, could be Rick Ross, I can't say. And he said if that rapper didn't pay, then they...
Ding, ding. Yeah, it was Ross for sure. Man, I remember I interviewed him about that, and it's crazy, bruh. So it looks like he was telling the truth the whole time. Shit, bruh. And then they over there shooting dice for IOUs. Hell no.
Would look to kill a rapper with the initials by the name of MM. Now that could be Meek Mill, so we could be talking about Rick Ross and Meek Mill here. This is just what the documents are alleging. But it was said that RR dropped off the 50 racks and Big U stopped answering Loose Cannon's phone calls and didn't split no money with him. But it's for sure that Big U was out here squeezing people all the way just to operate in the city of LA. Now, the heaviest allegations in this case are from around the time that this investigation really started with Big U. And we all know the main things that bring these people out. If it's not a crazy amount of money, it's a murder, which takes us to January 25th, 2021. And at this time, Big U has somebody on his label by the name of Rashawn Williams. Now, this is the individual that 600 was talking about when he was alleging that Big U had something to do with this homicide. But we gotta say, all these claims are allegations. These are...
Man, and rest in peace to him, bro. Condolences to his family. I know it could come off insensitive. You know what I'm saying? You saying free somebody who has something to do with, the, possible unaliving of their child. brother, all that, bro. It's crazy, bro. But Luce was fed up. He like, hell no, you ain't finna keep cutting me out of every deal.
The initial charging documents and the probable cause affidavit. Everybody's presumed innocent until proven guilty. We gotta say that. This is the beginning of a long journey. But the fact still remains, Rashawn Williams. And with this situation, there are some similarities to Nipsey Hussle. I gotta keep it 100. So it said that Big U and his business partner sent Rashawn Williams to Vegas to record some music in somebody's studio who later on became a witness in this case. Actually, 3 witnesses in this case were related to this recording studio. The security guard, the owner, and someone who acted as maybe a technician up at the studio. But nonetheless, Rashawn Williams is scheduled for the stu time, and he's supposed to record a song a day. It said that he's playing with the studio time and ends up recording a diss song aimed at Big U. Now, as we know, this is the same situation somewhat that happened with Nipsey Hussle, the diss record. What did Big U do with Nipsey Hussle? He pulled up looking to administer that DP.
Well, I ain't no rapper, I'm a scrapper. So, we end up having to come talk about that. Pull up the homies, and Nip admitted his wrong, but still there's some consequences to your wrong. I came to pick him up that morning so he can get his discipline.
He pulls up on Rashawn Williams all the way in Las Vegas with his coke.
See, and that's crazy, bro, because a lot of people is bringing up the little situation where he was at the park or something.
Justice for them. You did. You did.
So the people like, hold on, bro. They always just found something suspicious with Big U, and people think, bro, you know what I'm saying? They think he's slimy, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Conspirator Sylvester Robinson. Now, when they got there, this is the first time that the witness or the security guard at this establishment had seen Big U. And we all know Big U is a distinct character, so there's no way he's gonna forget seeing Big U at the studio. Now, again, what led up to this visit at the studio was the diss record that was recorded 5 days prior on January 20th, 2021. In that record, Rashawn Williams rapped about somebody who had the money, which the feds allege a reference to Big U. And Rashawn Williams also rapping about being shot in the face for thinking shit funny with a .38 revolver because it leaves no trace. Now, it's not known if Big U heard this diss record before or during his interaction at the studio with Rashawn Williams, but something made him pull up. So Rashawn Williams had an Airbnb in Vegas, and it said that Henley and Robinson pulled up in a dark gray Lexus to the studio. And it said that the night before the homicide, Big U's phone was shown to have arrived at the Airbnb in Vegas that Rashawn was staying at in the middle of the night. So it said that at 7:04, he was at the studio, and Rashawn pulled up to the studio between 8 or 9 and recorded a record until about 11 or midnight. And at about 12:30 in the morning,
Bro, so you telling me that these diss songs is just driving him mad? You know what I mean? I don't know, like, it gotta be something more to it, but I don't know, bro. It's crazy. He definitely was moving like it was 86. You know what I mean? Everybody telling, no, it's
dark gray Lexus was no longer at the studio, but Robinson was. 12:58, Big U's phone disconnects from the cell towers. But at approximately 1:13 in the morning, the dark gray Lexus pulls up to the Airbnb. At this time, it said, Rashawn is seen getting out the car, going into the Airbnb, and coming back out with his suitcase. Mind you, Rashawn wasn't supposed to leave Vegas until the next day, but he's bringing his suitcase out at 1 in the morning and putting it in the dark gray Lexus. So at 1:20, the Lexus pulls off from the Airbnb. And about an hour later, 55 minutes later, 2:15 a.m., both of Big U's phones connect back to the cell tower in our reported location. So it said that the drive from the Airbnb to the location where Rashawn's body was found would take roughly about 42 minutes. And they say it took Big U approximately 48 minutes or 55 minutes from the time of leaving.
Bro, this shit ain't good. And then you see how you think you being slick, bro, allegedly or whatever. I'm just saying, they piece of shit together like, look, bro, cut the phone off, cut it back on, type shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit wicked, bro. And then I wonder if, bro, like, you ain't sense it, bro, with some shit like some tension or whatever, for where a nigga could just break wide, like, fuck all that, get in a car, hell no, drive, hell no.
The Airbnb to turn his phone back on. Now it's said that Rashawn's body was found in a landfill in the middle of the desert off the 15 freeway, which we all know is the freeway that connects LA to Vegas. He was shot multiple times, including in the face, and his body was dragged into a ditch. And seemingly he was shot with the same pistol that he referenced in that diss song to Big U, a 38, because there was no shell casings recovered. But at this time, between 2:30 and 3 a.m., the gray Lexus pulls back up to the studio, and witness one, a security guard, reports seeing Big U drenched in either sweat or water, in which he replied that he had just got out the gym. 7 hours later, Rashawn's body is found in the desert. Big U was out of there an hour after that, 10 a.m., back to LA. Now, because of inclement weather on the night of the murder, the DNA couldn't be restored. So a lot of DNA matches were coming up inconclusive for what was left at the scene. But witness one will go on to make statements to the Fed.
Man, he say he was at the gym, bro. 24 hour, which one? They gonna definitely look at all the cameras like, bro, hold on, let me, and all they gonna do, especially at that time, at that later hour, they gonna just look at every 24 hour in the facility, in the building, like, hold on, let's check, bro. Because he say he was at the gym, he gonna say he was at a personal one, bro. This shit crazy. Rest in peace to him, bro. Hopefully you ain't do it, bro. Hopefully, bro.
And to the North Las Vegas PD about this incident. And it said that Big U ordered somebody to go get the surveillance cameras out of the studio, destroy everything, to the point where they had to send money to the studio owner to get a whole new surveillance system. And a month after this is when the feds start really forming their investigation on Big U. Now, again, for everybody that watched that A-Tray video, man, if you ain't seen it, go check that out, because it's terms that are going to be continually used when speaking on federal indictments, like the Title III, which is the formal term for a wiretap, in which both Loose Cannon and Brick Baby were recorded on. So not too long after this homicide took place in Vegas, Big U is back doing the regular situation in LA, shaking businesses down. And Loose Cannon is said to be one of the quote-unquote enforcers of his shakedown crew. And there was one point.
Yeah, that's the video right there, bro. That's scandalous. So, with all this information so far, bro, it sounds like the DNA under the fingernails, that was fabricated or whatever, that came back inconclusive. But with you coming back drenched in sweat, he left with you come back without him, drenched in sweat, you pressing him about the cameras and all that shit. This shit don't look good, bro. It was a diss song. It don't look good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Cut your phone off, cut it back on. Bro, I'm just saying. We're gonna listen to a little bit more of this shit, and we gone.
Particular spot that Loose Cannon implied that he had dealings with in a weed dispensary in LA. Now, the owner of the dispensary was charged tax every month by Big U and Big U Enterprises, to the tune of some months $25,000 a month if business was booming. But that, of course, that number was fluctuating. But at some point, the owner of this weed dispensary, who is a cooperating witness, of course, decided to stop paying because he didn't see the benefit of being taxed and shook down. So Big U sends Loose Cannon and some other dudes to rob him and put that pressure on him to make sure he's paying. And at this point, once Loose and all these dudes brought the work back to Big U, he also called the owner of the weed dispensary to come to the house as well, in which he gave him his items back, but put his tax on it to make sure he was getting his money. Now, the feds allege that Loose Cannon did nothing but corroborate the witness stories by telling all of this information on No Jumper, where they said Williams admitted to the robbery and the...
See, right there is the reason why people suspect that Brick and Loose is going to work against Big U. You know what I'm saying? Because Luce was already going on these podcasts and shit like this. Shout out Luce, bro. This is what they speculate, though. That, yeah, like, bro, you going on these podcasts and you corroborating these stories that the federal, like, make it seem like you was already in cahoots with the federales or whatever, how you, and shit like that. And he was tired of getting, it seemed like Luce was getting extorted, too. Man, he wasn't getting his cut from shit, type shit. But let's keep it.
Aftermath on the podcast, he also stated that he was Big U's right-hand man and started to implicate himself and Big U in certain crimes on these podcasts, which made Big U send that cease and desist to No Jumper and Vlad TV. The fans was watching. They seen Loose Cannon refer to Big U as Big Useless or Big Uterus. And they also have the January 3rd incident that happened this year when Loose Cannon struck somebody in the head and knocked him out with a pistol and proceeded to remove valuables from him, the jewelry, cash, cell phone, and added up everything to being over $5,000. They watched statements that Loose Cannon made saying he was Big.
And the crazy part, bro, that everybody was saying Loose was acting like that because he was already, you know what I'm saying? He was already working. Whatever, how you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Free Loose, bro. Free Brick. And they say Brick was working. Look, they say Brick, this is why they say Brick and Loose was going to work against Big U. You see, Loose was already cooperating. He was cooperating. Then you got Brick, baby. He didn't hit 600 and told 600 about the feds already being on Big U held meat though, and they just want Big U and basically like that type of talk. Like, bro, they don't even want us. They really just want Big Guy, bro, type shit. So, and I'm like, bro, that don't mean them niggas gonna tell or that they telling, bro. You know what I'm saying? It looks strange. It do. And what looks even more strange is all this shit that he done said in this video pertaining to Rashawn Williams, bro. Rest in peace to her, bro. Condolences to the family, bro. That lady, when she was saying what she was saying, you know, you could hear her pain in her voice. You could tell she grew up, you know, in a certain type of environment. She sounds screedy a little bit. So, you know, that's what I was referring to when I say when you grow up in certain environments, people, it's crazy how we be looking at each other, bro. Like, it's just, you feel me? Dump him in the landfill type shit. Bro, looked like he had a promising career. Feel me? Seemed like, you know, just a bad combination of hella shit, bro. I don't know. I wonder what made him just not, you feel me? Try to get up out of there, though. You know what I'm saying? He probably didn't even see it coming, but I don't know, bro. Crazy shit. Rest in peace to Nip. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Rashawn. Free these gentlemen. You know, they presumed innocent. It looks like there's going to be a lot of tricky shit that's going to come out. For sure, with this case, though. Shout out Rap News Street Politics again, nigga. You be doing your shit, bro. Yeah. I thought I was going to have to react to the family shit. I'm like, hell nah. I'll f with the family, though. Y'all go tap into the family. But, I wanted to keep it on the left. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, huh? Say, oh, you can't be playing with that paper, huh? Nigga need that yaper.